We all know that real estate was incredibly expensive for 2021, but none more so than these 10 properties. We've got homes with golf courses, we have people combining Central Park penthouses, and we even have cows? Question mark? Let's dive in to the 10 most expensive sales in the entire country for this past year. It's Andrew Parker, your real estate agent here in sunny Southern California, bringing you more real estate content. The Robb Report just released their list of the 20 most expensive sales over the past year, but we're going to dive into the top 10 to get a closer look at these incredible homes around the country. So the number 10 most expensive property sold in 2021 was 1020 South Ocean Boulevard down in Palm Beach, Florida. This home sold for $90 million, and of this list, $90 million is our cheapest home, which is insane. But this is one of the issues that we ran into. Some of the homes is Google Images shows it as, or Google Earth, excuse me, shows it as an empty lot. So I had to do a little bit of investigative reporting, looking at the neighbors' homes to find out what matched up to the developer's website and which home it is. So this is the new build that was just sold for $90 million. It is a 16,000 square foot residence. It has 200 feet of ocean views. You've also got a backside here going into a waterway. It's got its own dock for the boating, 2-acre parcel. You've got a golf range simulator, which sells me on the house right away. You've got some incredible interiors. It's all modern, obviously, just since it was just built this past year. And overall, it's got 5 bedrooms in the main home, golf simulator, like I mentioned, and then also a putting green and an outdoor kitchen and pool. So it hits all the things that I would be looking for, but $90 million, it's pretty steep. Okay, number 9 on the list is 2000 South Ocean Boulevard down in Palm Beach, Florida as well. There are a bunch of homes on this list that were made in the top 20 most expensive sales down in Palm Beach, Florida. So it's called Billionaires Row. It has been popping off this past year. This home is actually right down the street from our previous one, but this one sold for $94 million, just over it. And this one is pretty incredible because the last one had a golf simulator. This one actually has its own golf hole. Looks like maybe even 2 holes, which is just a flex. But these are the photos of the property. You've got water on both sides, the waterway on the backside and the ocean on the front, the Atlantic. You've got 62,000 square feet of interior space. There are 15 acres on this lot. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, there's about 33 bedrooms on the lot, which is just insane. It legitimately looks like you're purchasing a resort of some sort. It's definitely peaceful here, and if you're paying that amount of money, I guess you want it to be. Let's see and make sure that I got that number right. Yeah, 33 bedrooms, 38 and a half bathrooms, just unreal. I mean, that is quite a large property, to say the least. All right, number 8, we're staying in Palm Beach. This time we're headed north over to 1341 South Ocean Boulevard, the same street. I mean, this place is blowing up. $95 million just sold this past year. It's got 28,000 square feet, but this home has, I think, 5 times less bathrooms than the previous one, or than bedrooms than the previous one. But it is still beautiful, to say the least. It's a 7-bedroom home. That is stunning. I mean, good Lord, that's just amazing. Now, this home is also, it's got wood floors, oak wood floors from France, hand-painted tiles from Portugal, and fireplaces from Italy. Would you ever be able to tell when you walk on those or look at them? No, but it definitely all looks very expensive, and at $95 million, clearly is. I mean, these views are incredible, but a question for you. Are you willing to spend $1 million more to get 5 times less bedrooms and not a full golf hole? I don't know, that golf hole sells me on the last one, so I'm interested to find out what you think. All right, coming in at number 7, we are headed up to Southampton, New York. This is 90 Jule Pond Drive. It just sold for $105 million in 2021. It's a 42-acre lot, and I believe you are purchasing not only this house right here, but all of this lot and at least one of the lakes. It might be, or excuse me, the ponds. I believe it is this one. You've also got access over to the beach to see the Atlantic Ocean. Again, it is a 42-acre lot. It was built in the late 50s, 20,000 square feet, and 12 bed, 12 bath. This home also was listed, I think, at one point for $145 million. I almost said billion. That would have been too much. But sold for 105. So quite the deal there. Saved a few tens of millions of dollars. This home, when it was originally built, was for the Ford family. And you can tell it's kind of just that old school, elegant feel. Now the interiors of this property, I saw a video. It's old school. I'm not a huge fan of the interior. I think a lot of people would want to revamp it a little bit, but at the same time, if you like it, maybe you don't want to touch it and it's kind of a piece of history. But with this big of a lot, you could build 5 different homes on this thing, if not more. Sell those off, make a decent amount of money, and go ahead and redo the entire interior or the entire place if you wanted to. So quite a special one. Probably gets pretty cold in the winter though, so interested to find out your thoughts. I'd prefer to stay in California, but that's just me. All right, coming in at number 6, we are down back in Palm Beach, Florida with 1840 South Ocean Boulevard. This home sold for $109 million this past year. You can see you've got the Atlantic in the front, and then you've got the waterway in the back. This home is gorgeous, and I will actually tell you exactly why this, out of all of them, is my favorite. First off, unbelievable exterior. And I'm a huge fan of well-manicured grass and landscaping, and this absolutely has that. It's got options of views, what type of water you want to look at. You wanted to look at the hurricane headed your way, or you wanted to look out to the peaceful boats passing by in the waterway. Whatever it is, Florida obviously has a lot to offer in those 2 areas. Now, the interior is special, and obviously, I'm sure all of this artwork and everything is very expensive. Unfortunately, I don't have that taste. What I have a taste for is, first off, this bathtub. I know very well that my girlfriend would fall in love with this, being able to look out to the ocean and basically an all-white bathroom, except for the wallpaper. And then my favorite portion of this whole thing, though, takes us outside. So let me scroll down to it. I know I'm going through it pretty quick, but this pool. Now, a lot of developers get this wrong, in my opinion. They cater to the masses, which admittedly is probably smart on their part, but they go for the pool that has the most sun in the world so that everybody can tan. My pigment, I burn, and I need to have some shade. So I love the fact that this has a fixed roof over the top of it where I can sit in this hot tub, sit in the pool, and look out to the water. That to me is incredible, all about peace and relaxing, having some R&R. So happy to see that they account for that here. And when you're spending over $100 million, they better be accounting for some relaxation. So very happy with this. Let me know what you think, if this is your favorite as well. So guess where we are for number 5, still Palm Beach, but we're at 535 North County Road. This home, which is a new build, just sold for $122.7 million. It's a 9-bed, 12.5 bath, 21,000 square feet, and a 2.25 acre lot. Now this home is obviously very modern considering it was just built. And I mean, you're kind of getting what you're paying for. This definitely looks like a California home, but the flash and the style definitely speaks Palm Beach. So this is incredibly expensive, but I think the characteristic and the taste that comes with this, that modern flair, is really special because we haven't seen that too much in the past homes. Now this home has a 6-car garage and obviously its own separate guest cottage. This is sweet, an awesome entertaining space. Just imagine the tropical breeze in your hair as you watch a movie in a hot tub. Ooh, I mean, very special. This bathroom, I think this is onyx with light coming through the floor. I mean, I have not seen that before. This is very special. And if anybody's ever stayed at the Cosmo in Las Vegas, they're taking a hint from there because this is a see-through bath shower straight from the bedroom. Everybody's got their taste, but they clearly have set theirs. Now, this next property came in at number 4, and it's in quite an unlikely state. We are not in Florida. We are not in California, not in New York. We are actually in Bozeman, Montana. Now, this is the Climbing Arrow Ranch that just sold this past year for $136 million. This is 79,000 acres. And when you're purchasing this property, you're purchasing less of the actual buildings and more the location and land. This was previously owned by Buck Anderson, who is the grandson of the Bank of California founder. Now, when he and his wife passed away, the family just sold off the property, and it actually was the backdrop of Robert Redford's 1992 film A River Runs Through It, which is quite a great title considering you can basically own a river when you purchase this place. So pretty unbelievable. There's 2,000 Black Angus cattle on this property, and then obviously you've got trout fishing, a lot of exploring you can do with friends and family, and a lot of opportunity, quite frankly, to turn this into somewhat of a business if you have tours or anything like that going down the river or checking out the abandoned railroad. So we could call this a business investment more than a personal purchase. All right, number 3 on the list, you know where we are given the big park and the huge city right next to it. We are in New York City at 220 Central Park South Condos in Manhattan. There was a purchase here, actually 2 condos purchased together for $157 million. They're expected to be combined to make one gigantic unit on the 60th and 61st floors. Unfortunately, we do not have pictures of that particular unit, but we do have one from the same building that can give you an idea of what this place is like. Obviously, the views of Central Park are unbelievable. The anonymous buyer is now rumored to be Joe Tsai, who is the co-founder of Alibaba, as well as one of the owners of the Brooklyn Nets. It's the 3rd largest purchase in U.S. history. Number 1, at that time, number 1 was in the same building by Ken Griffith, who purchased multiple units that are also going to be combined for $238 million. So pretty unbelievable. If the bathroom of the home that we're talking about is anything like this one, I'm sure it is incredibly special with that picturesque view of Central Park. Quite insane and living, quite frankly, and realistically, the high life. Okay, so for number 2, we are finally making our way over to the West Coast. We are in Paradise Cove of Malibu. This home just sold for $177 million this past year, and unfortunately, this is one of those homes that gets very private, and there weren't any high quality photos of the interior or really even the exterior. So even though $177 million was spent on this home, it's very difficult to find anything about it. So we are only seeing the exterior from Google Earth. Now, what we do know is this home was purchased by Mark Andreessen and his wife, Laura. They are known for Netscape, Appsware, Mosaic. He's a venture capitalist now, and she's actually a venture philanthropist. Net worth is estimated around $1.4 billion, and they definitely used a piece of that to get this guy over on the coast. Now, this is a 10,000 square foot main home, but there's also these guest homes on the property. This whole thing is theirs right here. And this green grass is perfectly cut. They've got a square garden over here, as well as this pool. Now, I will say something about the pool that was interesting to me, as well as my girlfriend when I showed it to her. You spend all this money on this giant home, but you put the pool far enough away to the point where you can't see the ocean from it, which is kind of interesting to me, although it seems like a lot of the neighbors did the same thing. So I don't know, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. They do have a private walkway down to the beach. It looks like potentially a little bocce ball area with some seating and some seating up on the hill, and maybe a fireplace over here so that you can see the vast view of the Pacific Ocean, feeling like you own the whole damn thing. All right, coming in at number 1, we are back to the unlikely state of Montana, coming in 2 times in this countdown, and now with the number 1 spot, a $200 million purchase by none other than Rupert Murdoch. If you haven't heard his name, you've probably heard 21st Century Fox National Geographic, the Wall Street Journal, Fox News, to name a few. He also, I believe, is basically what the show Succession is about, which is one of my favorite shows on TV. And when I was doing some research on this, I found out that his wife's name is Jerry, and if that's any indication of what the next season of Succession will be, I am sorry for spoiling that for you. This is a property that was very difficult to find any pictures on. We do have some land photos of what the ranch was all about. It's definitely a cattle ranch. I believe there's around 7,000 cattle on this property, as well as 4,000 elk and a bunch of different wildlife. This is the plot map of what he just purchased. It is 340,000 acres, which equates to about 530 square miles. There's also a 90-mile road, and it all starts here. It was very difficult to figure this out, quite frankly, because it is very private, but I believe that this is the start of the land. They said that the headquarters was right south of Dillion, which this is, and we see a bunch of corrals for a lot of the cattle. And this, I mean, this has to be the 90-mile road, because this thing goes on forever. He owns basically a mountain range as well as this road. There's a 26-mile creek that you can see kind of winding through the vast valley over here. And this thing just keeps on going. All of this land, who knows what he's going to do with it? Quite frankly, I don't know. It does butt up to Yellowstone National Park as well as the Idaho border, and it comes all the way down to the Lima Reservoir. So all of this land basically is his. He does not own Sawtooth Mountain from what I understand, but he does own up around here. And who knows, this might turn into some type of amusement park or just keep on running the cattle business. I don't know. He's starting to purchase everything, and he's got an estimated net worth of around $22 billion. So this is where he's allocating some of his money. And look, you can either buy 2 of the Miami houses for that money or buy literally a portion of estates and mountain ranges. So you tell me which one you'd prefer. All right, that's been today's video. I hope you found it entertaining, and if you did, please consider leaving a like and subscribing to my channel. It helps me out a ton. Also, be sure to follow Andrew Parker Realty for more property tours, market updates, and real estate tips. And finally, if you have any questions or suggestions of your own, be sure to leave them in the comment section below or shoot me a DM. I'd be happy to respond or make videos answering the questions that you guys have. All right, I'll see you in the next one.